Class, and welcome to lesson 3.9. Yes, last lesson we learned about combinations. Today we're going to learn about combinations with a couple restrictions. This is a short lesson today, and it should be, hopefully, let's see if that's working. There we go, with restrictions, okay? And so, again, it's counting combinations, okay? And combinations is where order is not important, right? So it doesn't matter who gets picked first or who gets picked second or third. It's just that you pick three people, okay? Awesome. So let's take a look at example one. In first year university, Sonia must choose 6 courses from, these are the possible courses that you could choose. You have 3 English, 2 math, 5 science, and 3 business. So if you add them all together, that gives you a total of 13 possible classes she could pick from. Okay, and just before I do the mathematics about this question, folks, I do want to make sure, if I don't get a chance to tell you in class, when you go to university and you have a registration window to register for courses, please do yourself a favor. Be organized, know exactly what courses you're picking and what time slots, have them all written out, double check them, because these spots fill up quickly. And for example, if you don't get organized, and by the time you get to doing your registration, even though it's in the registration window, if you wait, you might be stuck with like Friday morning classes at 8 a.m. when you could have probably got it at Wednesday at 2, for example, a nicer time period. So please make sure for your registration window that you're organized, you got your schedule figured out, no conflicts, and that you get registered as soon as possible, because courses fill up first. The most convenient courses fill up first, which are going to be your Monday to Thursday classes, okay, and during the day. Sometimes you get stuck with evening classes as well. Unless that's part of your schedule and you like evening classes, go for it. But make sure you're picking times that are good for you and be efficient. So that's a big life lesson when you get to post-secondary, is know your registration window, make sure you know your student card, and you've got everything planned and organized. Okay, now that I'm done with that, sorry, but that's really important, guys. Okay, make sure you're ready for that. Now we're going to solve this problem. So question A says where there are no restrictions. So if there are no restrictions, we're going to use our, get your calculator out, and we're going to have 13 total, and from the 13, we're going to choose 6 of them. Okay, and for those who forget how this works, it's going to be 13 factorial over top, and it's going to be 7 factorial times 6 factorial. And if you forget where that 7 factorial came from, folks, it is the n minus r, which is the 13 subtract 6. Okay, that's just part of the formula. But again, unless it asks you to simplify, you just plug it in your calculator, and you'll find out that there are 1,716 possible choices. All right. Okay. So second example, she must take both maths. So guess what? This is a restriction. Okay? So we're going to approach this problem a little differently. Okay? So what do we know we have to do? We have to take 2 math. And how many other courses do we have to choose? We have 4 others, because it's 6 total, right? So 2 math and 4 others. Okay? So for choosing 2 maths, how many math courses are there? Take a look here. There's 2 possible. So for the first one, you're going to say 2 choose 2. You've got to choose both maths. And remember, guys, means to multiply. Okay? And 4 others. So how many other courses are there besides math? So we know there's 13 total. Subtract the 2 math, which gives you 11 other courses to choose from. And we're going to pick 4 of them. Okay? All right, plug that in your calculator, folks. So it's going to be 1 times 330, which equals 330 choices. So notice that narrowed down significantly when you had to pick 2 courses. All right, now for the last question, and it's the hardest one. It says you must take at least 1 math. So realize there's 2 different cases here. You're either going to take 1 math, or you're going to take both maths, or 2 maths. Okay? So there's 2 cases, case 1 and case 2. Now I'm going to show you both the direct and the indirect method. Okay? So let's do the direct method first. Oopsie, sorry, spelling. All right, so direct method. Okay. So let's take a look at case 1. So case 1 is with 1 math. Okay, so what does that mean? It's going to be 1 math. And if you take 1 math, then you're going to have 5 other, right? All right, so let's do that. So we have 2 math classes to choose from, and we're going to take one of them. Okay, times how many other non-math classes are 11, because you take 13, subtract the 2 math classes, and we're going to choose 5 of them. Okay, so plug that in, and we have, I'm sorry, 2 times 462, just plug in your calculator, and that part's going to give us 924. But that's only case 1. We also have to realize there's 2 cases. So OR means to add. Okay, I'm just going to build on this. Case 2. And then case 2 is going to be 2 maths and 4 other. And that's what we did already above. Okay, but if you forget what it is, we're going to add 2 choose 2 times 11 choose 4. It's the same as what we did up above. Okay, so adding this up, it's going to be plus 1 times 330. Okay, so 924 plus 330 gives us a total of 1,254 choices. Okay, so folks, with this whole registration thing, notice how significantly less case 2 was. And that's only 2 out of your 6 courses. So be aware that you have to take some prerequisite courses for second year or for whatever program you're going into. So there's not a lot of wiggle room. So that's why you always have to be organized and register as soon as possible. Okay, so that is direct method case with case 1 and 2. Let's do the indirect method, which you might, again, find easier. It depends on how your brain works, but we'll show it anyway. Okay, and then you can decide which one is best for you. Okay, so indirect method. Okay, so the opposite of doing this is if you take, the opposite of taking at least 1 math is what? Taking no math, right? So you're going to use the fact that you take no math. Okay, which is the opposite. So remember, in order to do the indirect method, that equals the total, subtract 0 maths or no maths. Okay, so that's where that fits there. It's the opposite of taking at least 1 math. The opposite is no maths. Okay, so the total, which we calculated already in A, but it's 13, there's 13 classes and you're going to choose 6, subtract 0 maths. So if you don't have any maths, you can't even include them in your total, so you've got 11 courses to choose from and you're going to take 6 from there. Okay, so let's simply do that. So 16 from A and subtract 462, which is 11, choose 6. So plug that in and you get 1,254 choices. Again, it doesn't matter to me which method you use, but again, you could use both and use one to check the other. So that's really cool. All right, folks, that is it. So just keep in mind of restrictions, okay? With no restrictions, it's a simple plug in your calculator formula. And when there is restrictions, you may have to do the AND, where you multiply, or the OR, when you have more than 1 case, okay? And those are how you deal with combinations with restrictions. So ladies and gentlemen, we've got some questions here for you to work on. Page 280, numbers 13, 14, 16, 19 ABC, and 20 ABC. Have a great day, and if you need some help, please come see me. Ciao.